I'm in front of Candell's Preparatory Academy, and I'm about to talk to mayoral candidate Terrence Candell. We're actually right across the street from Eastmont Mall, right over here in the heart of East Oakland.
A humble little spot here.
Man, your students really swear by you. Tell my viewers how this all started.
Well, I got tired of my students not being accepted to college who were from here, Oakland. And
we're in the heart of East Oakland.
Yes, in the heart of East Oakland, 73rd Avenue. And
Eastmont Mall's right there.
Yes, Eastmont Mall's right there.
Yeah, let's go outside and show them real quick.
Oh, sure.
That's tough, Yeah. That's Eastmont right there, right?
Absolutely. Eastmont Mall right over there. Ghazali's, our little home supermarket, which we're very proud of and glad to have. But what happened was our students were not getting accepted into college because they weren't given the proper coursework. And so what I did was I sold my 2000 Trans Am with 425 horsepower and black with louvers and the tail and the whole thing. And I started a school in a basement, and this is like my sixth school that I started.
Oh, we got the police substation right behind you, right there,
Yep,
right?
police substation right behind me.
Yeah.
Sir, you are jaywalking.
Sorry about that, Coach.
Don't be sorry, just don't do that again, please.
All right, I'll wait in the crosswalk.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Anyway, so sold that car, bought a bunch of desks and books and so on and so forth. I was used to buying my own stuff because I worked in the district for almost 15 years. So what I did was I went on ahead and started the school and didn't have much thought about what it would be other than the fact that I'd make sure that my students were prepared.
Right.
And that's what I've done. When I was in the district, my students got the highest scores in the district every year. And, not to say anything special about me because the scores are pretty low in the district.
Hey, so let's go inside and see what you got. This is interesting.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, cool.
This is our humble little class lobby at our school. And what you'll see is the Wall of Fame over here. These are the students who graduated. Don't get me wrong, everybody, as usual, as is the case at every school, doesn't show up for picture day. But it's okay because we have a majority of them on there. We're a small school, but 100% of them graduate every year, and every year 100% of them.
And you really have hands-on, and also that was one of your students that went across, right? You got after them.
Well, yeah. We're like family here. Like for many of them, I'm like a surrogate parent. And I got to do my job, as a parent. So.
Hey, so let's walk and talk, and then also tell me how you came to start running for mayor. And this is Larry Reed's district. You know Larry?
Yes, I know Larry. Been knowing Larry some 20 years.
Wow. Yeah, definitely.
And as you'll see when you come here, you're going to see some newspaper clippings of my son and a few other students here who've been noticed by the Tribune and the Post and other Washington. You can see my son's picture here. He graduated, the youngest African American in history to graduate from a university.
Congratulations.
Thank you. He started at 10 and graduated at 14.
It's a genius.
Yeah, well, he is, yeah. This is a letter from Barack Obama right here from the White House. And then you can see our school's been written up a few times. Here's the Sunday Morning News there. And, just because the thing that I've been trying to tell everybody to do has been hello there. And just exactly where do you think you're going? No, I'm just playing. Go ahead. But anyway, we're very proud of that, very proud of them. You'll see pictures over here. You got Andre Ward, who's from Oakland.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's with my daughter. My daughter has special needs. She's the one who's born 1 pound 4 ounces. And she is now 17 and has graduated. You see, she's with Omari. I don't like this kissing one, but that's her favorite guy. She was on the list for the Make-A-Wish Foundation for a while there. So, don't get me wrong, they didn't get it, but we got it. In any event, this is our little our conference room, but unfortunately, well, fortunately for them, our students are seniors. They like to take this room.
Sure.
So it's theirs. They get to go online, do applications, do whatever they want, Facebook, whatever they need to do to keep them.
So you've been
motivated.
at the bowels here. I mean, really, what said to you, you know, I'm tired. I'm gonna run for Oakland mayor?
Nothing. I'm not tired. I'm energized.
Yeah.
And what has happened is, I didn't want to run for mayor. It was made clear to me that I needed to run for mayor because there weren't people who were very qualified running for mayor. I've run multi-million-dollar budgets for companies, and I've had my own companies and done that kind of stuff.
And as we were talking off camera, you were involved in the Oakland school system a lot, right?
Sure. Yeah, I was involved with them for some 13 years or something like that. But
I gotta ask you, what is the problem with our education system?
all right. Everybody does ask me that. As a matter of fact, Randall Ward called me right before he left, having taken over, but too bad he didn't call me before he left. But the problem is, and has been, that we do not focus on our children. That's one thing. The other thing is, if you look in this room here,
Sure.
what you'll see is small room, small classroom, all the desks. Do you see anyone sitting behind anyone in here?
No.
The potential even for it?
Right, I do, yeah.
Throughout the entire school, our school is set up like the college environment, where we have seminar type settings in the classroom. That's our middle school area. Actually, since it's summer, nobody's there. Then we have small groups that are able to go into the computer room, never large groups. We had like 40 computers and we took them out, and we have small only. And I told them this, but what they did was they went ahead and set up little schools at Castlemont and little schools at this one and that one. That's not what I meant. I meant you give them one-to-one attention.
Right.
Not set up small schools and continue to do things the same way. Even in my class, which is the big class here, it's not very small. Well, hello, beautiful Kimberly, and hello, beautiful wife. How are you? This is Zenny.
Hey, how do you do? Hi, how are you?
They are big fans. So, in any event, and as you can see, we've been working in this classroom this morning because there's stuff all over the place. That's what it's supposed to be. Children are supposed to be engaged, and I don't just mean children, the young adults, because that's who I teach, the young adults. I teach the high schoolers, and they're engaged, and they're just all over the place, and they're busting papers and coming and running to you with them. They're supposed to be, and they're supposed to be excited about it. This is our primary over here, and that is the fabulous Miss Hill over there with Mr. Wild and Crazy Ray over there who runs in the walls for a living.
Mr. Chris actually he was drinking a soda and the ball in the can.
Well, yeah, but what are you doing on the basketball court with a soda?
He was actually sitting down on the
side?
Yeah. On the
Oh
side.
yeah, you can't sit there. Can't sit there, okay? You know that, right? Right? From now on, okay? Okay, Miss Hill's gonna take care of you, all right? Miss Hill, I don't see any place where somebody can sit behind anyone in this classroom.
No, we don't do that here.
We have lots of little programs and lots of little, part of what we call the Candell method here.
What is that?
And it's sort of published, but we don't, we haven't copywritten it or anything because we want people to copy it.
Sure.
And that is, number one, no one sits behind each other, everyone in circular fashion. Also, we have something here we call circle time. We do it first thing in the morning. Everybody gets to say what's on their mind, how they're feeling, that kind of thing. It puts the students in touch with each other and puts the teacher in touch with the student. And vice versa, because the teacher participates as well. So everyone's part of the educative process here. And And as you can see, we have our wonderful segment of it, which is the outside experience and being able to come outside and being able to socialize and congregate and those kind of things. But also in the Candell method, we have this number counting thing. We have something called Story to Write, where the teacher comes in, turns out all the lights, tells a story, and then as soon as the teacher turns them on, everybody's rushing to write their story. And they write 5 pages. Whether they're in middle school or in high school. They do that, and they're energized and enthused about so doing. Yes?
Great place to start. If you were mayor, how would you fix Oakland's education system? What would you do?
Well, the first thing I would do in terms of the educational system is I cut the top. They're very top-heavy in Oakland Unified School District. We need to diversify and give people the ability to cross train, and give people the ability to be able to give people the ability to do various jobs. Here, for example, I'm the basketball coach of the #1 team for the last 8-9 years. We didn't win the championship last year, but we still were #1 in the league. And also, I sweep the floors. I take care of my classroom, that kind of stuff. What else? I drive the bus. There's the bus over there.
Sure.
What I'm trying to say essentially is, people need to be cross-trained. We can't pay people all this money and then bring in other people to do the jobs, and then bring in consultants at $125,000 a pop to do things that we could do ourselves and should do ourselves. But also, we need to be able to give the teachers a livable wage, and the way to do that is to cut down on some of these other things. Then we'll bring in people with big programs from across the nation, from DC and New Jersey and all this stuff, and they got a nice program, so we buy it. How do you buy it if you don't have enough money?
Right, that's going to be my question to you. Yeah.
You don't do that. You leave those things out. You educate from within. Do we look like we have a big budget around here? Absolutely, we do not. What we do is we utilize people's strengths in order to educate. And that's what we do around here. Everybody comes in, they chip in. We might have a parent who does a certain thing in industry. We have them come in and teach that. We have a guy who comes in and teaches civics to the high schoolers. We have somebody who teaches chemistry. We have someone who comes in and teaches library, that kind of stuff. And a lot of these times people volunteer. Why aren't we using them to do that? Guess what? The majority of those people are elderly. We're sitting them, our most precious resource, aside and not allowing them to participate in our children's lives. Like we know what we're doing. We don't.
As mayor, how are you going to, these are questions you give us, the budget.
Oh, good. Well, there are a number of things that we need to do. We have initiatives already drawn up that we are having people sign. One of them is, for a long time we complained in this city about people coming in from the outside and taking all our jobs, as we put it. And it's true. Some 90% of the police force or something like that is from somewhere else, not from here. But if they're going to come here and they love our city so much, and which I do, I think they should have to pay for it. If they're going to take our dollars and they're going to go back to their community and spend our money in their community, it's basically like raping our community. You're sucking the lifeblood out of our community, then you turn around and look at us and go, oh, Oakland is so, Well, guess what? It's time for you to start paying 1% per paycheck into our general fund.
So like on their payroll tax or something like that, is that what you're saying?
Yes, absolutely. Matter of fact, when I
Wouldn't
first
that chase
started
businesses
working.
away, or?
I'm sorry?
Wouldn't that chase businesses away?
You know what? If it does, maybe it'll chase some of our people back to work. Because our people would love to have those jobs, particularly those jobs that are paying $225,000 a year, those jobs that are paying $150,000 a year.
But I mean, as a guy who did economic development, if I say to a company I'm trying to attract, you have to pay a payroll tax, and then I'm trying to drop the taxes.
Yeah, they pass that tax on directly
right,
to
but those
the,
are jobs that I've lost if I can't get them to come to Oakland. I've experienced that firsthand.
Yeah,
So how do I get around that?
Well, you don't. The truth is, you're going to have to learn how to hire our people from here.
You sound like Mike Bloomberg. No, you do. I asked him. I said, so I was getting after him about not having tax incentives for tech companies, and he said, we need taxes in New York City. You want in New York, you pay. Be in New York, you pay. You sound like Bloomberg.
Yeah, well, and to me that's okay, because guess what? It's about time. Nobody's been respecting my city. I was born and raised in this city, and I'm insulted that people think that they can come here and rape my city and then take all of our dollars into another place and then turn around and say how poor we are. You know, that's insulting to me. I don't like it. And neither does anybody else who lives here, by the way. And they would be very, very happy. How do I know this? I pressed the flesh with some 60,000 of them now. And believe me, they all seem to feel the same way.
Another question. There's been a battle between a number of people regarding police payment and the pension issue. Where do you stand on police pay and the pension issue?
I'm glad you asked me, because I didn't get a chance to finish with the city council the other night.
Okay.
Basically, I don't feel that they should cut the police department. Yeah, that's
cut the
surprising.
salaries or the
I don't think they
pensions,
should have cut the police officers.
Okay, the 80 that were laid off, right?
The 80 that were laid off. I think what it shows is a lack of imagination on the part of the city council and the mayor, because it says to me that you didn't go out and create revenue streams, and therefore you took it out on us again. And it's wrong. We should not have to be without police officers. Don't get me wrong. I am against them getting $150,000 in overtime plus $100,000 salary. That, to me, is mismanagement. And that has nothing to do with the officers. The officers are doing a bang-up job given the circumstances. But I think the management in the police department needs to change. I think also the training of the police officers needs to change as well, so that they become sensitive. And with the loss of those 80 officers that we have, I think, and not just 80, because there's more to come.
When you say the management of the, do you mean you don't like the current police chief?
No, I think the current police chief is doing fine. I think he's going to come into it. But I'm talking about the people who are, for example, in charge of scheduling. I think, for example, the people who are in charge of this. We have to be very specific on who we target in terms of who's mismanaging within the police department, because we cannot allow someone to have $159,000 of overtime. You could put 3 officers on the beat for that amount of money in New York City. All I'm saying is this. I think it is time for us to redo some things here in the city of Oakland, and that's why I'm off the fence. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to take it on, and I'll stand there right beside Chief Batts and help him do it, because that's the kind of person I am. I get the job done.
What kind of staff will you have? What kind of mayor's office? Because I've worked for 2 mayors, and I've seen, like, we have
different mayors
27.
staffing. Oh, well, first of all, mayor's office needs to be cut. I'm telling it like it is. And I'm sorry, those of you who work in the mayor's office who are going to be mad at me, but 24 full-time employees, 18 full-time employees to support the 24 full-time employees, and 8 full-time employees who support the 18 full-time employees who support the 24 full-time employees, that is economic waste. You should not have it.
Are you going to give it to the city administrator to do it?
Give what to the city administrator to do?
Well, in the past, when Jerry Brown made the same statement, and I was going from Elihu's to Jerry Brown's, he let the city administrator's staff be his staff.
Oh, I see what you mean. First of
structurally,
all,
what kind of staff are you going to have? Who's going to be
I know
your
what
chief?
you mean.
Yeah.
But let me just say this. I would never give the city administrator something that I can do myself. The mayor is responsible for the city budget. And I've done many budgets, hundreds of thousands of budgets. And believe me, I know what I want in them. But there's that. But with respect to my staff office, I don't understand why a mayor needs that many staff. I'm sorry. Yeah, it needs to be cut. There are a lot of people that have to go. And I'll tell you something else. The attitude down there sucks. You know, I walk in that office.
Morale is bad, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And they're like,
yeah.
what do you want?
Yeah.
What? Can I help you? You know, I don't need that kind of stuff. No one needs to be greeted that way when they come to the city of Oakland. This is my city. When I greet you, I say, hi. How are you? How you doing? How can I help you today? You know, because that is the way business is done. It's called customer service, and they need to be trained in that regard. Don't get me wrong, I think we need to rent out a few of those offices where these people are so that we can bring in revenue into the city. I think we also need to have a roller skating rink in the city. That's a source of revenue, believe it or not. Other cities see it as such, and we send our families out to them. We need a bowling alley in the city, a source of revenue. Guess what? We had bowling alleys in the city. They've been gone for now 20 years. Also, this is not the way that we say to our children, we love you, when we're shutting down their recreation centers one day a week, and also, and they close at 6 o'clock at night.
How do you balance the budget without doing that sort of thing?
Well,
I mean, because revenue sharing takes time. Raising takes time. How do you do that when right now, Oakland's staring at a huge deficit and your property taxes have been decimatedly cut?
We've got to get the ball rolling. And number one, I have right now some 1,000 volunteers at my disposal who would be willing to come in once we certify them to the recreation centers and volunteer their time and act as mentors, which our children need desperately, and be able to help keep those recreation centers open till 10 o'clock at night. And guess what? At 10 o'clock at night, we have vans out in front of those places. I got churches who are willing right now, some 400 of them, who are willing right now to lend a van in the evening to take these children home at 10 o'clock so that they don't break curfew. There's a whole new world that's coming to Oakland. And I'm telling you, I'm out there on the streets every day to ensure that we get in office so that we can start moving Oakland again. But also, revenue. We want, and we've been talking to Caltrans, but we've been getting stonewalled quite a bit, to be honest with you. We want a toll tax. We want a toll tax for the city of Oakland. We want people to pay who are not from here. We're on a fast track for those who are from here who are proven residents.
If I'm coming through the Caldecott tunnel, I pay a toll to come in Oakland?
Hello, $1 a day. And also, you coming from San Jose, you come right into our city. You're looking to Fremont, you looking to take our jobs.
Fortress Oakland?
Hello, welcome to Oakland. Guess what? You know how many cars go across it, according to them, our freeway a day?
I'll pick the freeway. I think the Caldecott throughput's 243,000 vehicles a day, something like that.
That's good. But now add on 580 and add on 880. 1.5 million cars a day. All right. And we're not talking about people who are from here. Why do we need to use that freeway to go somewhere? No, we're here already. But the thing is, yes, we need to fast track those people who are from here so that we're not taxing our own people again, which is all the city council seems to know how to do. Tax Oakland, tax Oakland. Oh, let's put some more parking stuff so that we can tax our citizens again. Oh, we increase the parcel tax so we can tax our citizens again.
So basically you're turning it outside. You're saying instead of us, it's them.
That's right. And guess what? It's time for us. Everybody wonders what's wrong with the economy. The economy is having no money put into it. That's what's wrong with it. But also, we need to talk about the fact that we have good things happening in Oakland, and our leadership hasn't done that. And you could say it's personal if you want, but it's not true. But I'll just say this. When my son was the youngest in history to graduate from Cal State East Bay,
right?
Did you see the mayor come out and shake his hand and put him in front of cameras and those kinds of things? No, he was on Jimmy Kimmel, The Tonight Show, everybody's show. He was in every newspaper in the world. I got Russian papers, papers from
your
France.
Your own mayor didn't call you?
Oh, not a word. We went down there and banged on his door and made him give him accommodation.
What?
Yeah, that's how that went.
So that's what motivated you to run?
Not at all. Not at all.
Come on.
There's so many other things. Oh, well,
that would have motivated me to run.
The number one school in the history of the country. In the history of the country. And nobody outside of our city knows it. Why not? Because we don't know business downtown. These folks obviously have never run true businesses. They've run them for somebody else or run something to get their politics money through or that kind of thing. But they haven't run a real business. And what I mean by that is this. When you have a business, you market that business. 6% to 20% of your budget should be for marketing.
I got to ask you this question in the roughly 4 to 5 minutes we have remaining of camera time.
Okay.
Oscar Grant. As we talk, it's Thursday?
Yes.
Jury's still deliberating. What are your thoughts?
You know, I'm glad I get a chance to speak on this because Oscar Grant was killed, and it was wrongfully killed. Okay, I saw with my own eyes on the tapes and all of that, kind of like just like everybody else did. But what we need to be doing is meeting and planning and talking about what we need to do to try to rectify the wrongs that were done during the trial as well. Excuse me, as the wrongful death of Oscar Grant. You heard me say that legal term, wrongful death, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, we've got to try to go through the courts and utilize that, and also the feds, to talk about the civil rights violations. But we've got to get together and plan those things. We can't have one person going, and we need a bunch of people running down the street tearing up our own buildings and that kind of stuff. You know, guys, I really, to be honest with you, I'm a little offended that people think that they can just pull our string and say, we're going to do this wrong to you, and then we're going to make you jump up and down and scream and yell and that kind of stuff. Excuse me, I am not a child. Mm-hmm. I plan. And unlike a prize fighter, I pick my punches. And I pick exactly how I'm going to punch. And I don't want adults allowing their children to be out here doing this kind of thing. And for my young adults, I don't want them to show their worst side, which is the worst side of us is the side that we choose emotion over education. Right. And we're very intelligent here in this city, all of us. And what I mean is we have to be intelligent in order to live here. So we use that intelligence to plan, and we do what we need to do in order to get this rectified, and I think we can. This is the time.
Finally, the A's, the Raiders, and the Warriors. What's you as mayor of Oakland would do about sports in Oakland? Particularly the A's situation, possibly the Warriors going to San Francisco. And can we afford it?
I hate to be very simplistic. Sometimes I have to be. I look at the Warriors, and I grew up here in the city. And I love the fact that we have a basketball team here. I love the fact that there are those people who love the Warriors. And I even love the Warriors. There's just one thing. The Warriors haven't seemed very proud to be from Oakland, and I am. I don't like the fact that I said at a meeting where Elihu Harris said to the owner of the Warriors team, we look forward to the day when, and I quote, we look forward to the day when the Golden State Warriors will be called the Oakland Warriors. And the owner of the team promptly took the mic and said, if I have to rename them the Oakland Warriors, I'll move the team. And he dropped the mic and walked away. If that's the way you feel about my city, buddy, then you need to go. And we'll get our own basketball team. And guess what? We can do it. But that's the way I feel about it personally, okay? Mm-hmm. That's sure. Me personally. Sure. In terms of my city, it's very important that we have the Warriors here. So we need to try to make some concessions a little bit. Yeah, we do. I mean, but we've got to have revenue streams in order to do that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I get tired of the same situation with the Raiders. Don't get me wrong, Parada really plummeted us into a really bad situation here in De La Fuente with the Raiders. I would never have agreed to that. $105 million, $12 million a year, that kind of stuff. You know, come on, man. You know, don't do that to us. You know, it's wrong. It shows that they don't know how to manage business. You know, you don't do business that way. But there are other concessions that could have been made that we could have done. Al didn't really ask for that much before he left. Mm-hmm. He said, can I get box seats? Can I get this place expanded? Blah, blah, blah. Then after he left, we went ahead and did it anyway. It's like, come on.
For the A's.
Yeah, for the A's. You know, and don't get me wrong, the A's have always been strong in Oakland, here in Oakland, and I've always been an A's fan. I would never change. When I bleed, it's green and gold. And so all I'm saying is we need to get to the table with the A's. Now, there are no quick, hard, and fast answers for the A's, you know. Let's get to the table. Let's talk about what we can do, and let's talk about how we can help.
So do you favor a Jack London Square Stadium for the A's then?
Do I? Absolutely.
Cool. That's a good way to end because we're about over time. Hey, thanks a lot, Dr. Kendall.
Thank you.
Very impressive.
I appreciate it.